What's up, Dual Coast fans? Back to another very exciting episode of Dual Coast Podcast, joined by a man who needs no introduction this morning. Good friend of mine and Russ's, Mr. Dan Chudy, down in Missouri right now, I believe. Right, Dan? Still in Missouri?
Yep. Still down Table Rock Lake, right outside of Branson.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
We're excited.
Yeah,
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Yeah, I told Dan last week. I said, "Get ready, man. Grip on the edge of your seat because this is going to be a hot one."
That's right.
we never know what's going to come out of this guy's mouth.
That's right.
I installed a filter this morning, so we should be should be good. Yeah, nobody's getting canceled today.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, we go back, just over a year. We all met in Missouri.
Yeah.
It was an amazing time, hooking up with you, Dan, meeting you, learning a little bit about you, hearing your story from the stage, and spending some time on the phone with you throughout the last year or so. And amazing to get to know you. Entrepreneur, businessman, startup, headhunter, hot rod racer, speed racer. We go back to speed racer days.
Yeah.
This guy does it all. And so what's keeping you busy right now?
Yep.
Man, so much. So my wife owns a salon / medical spa. They do, injections and haircuts and toes and nails and massages and, everything in between. So anytime she needs to build something at the salon, I'm the go-to handyman or the gopher, because truth be told, she does most of the heavy lifting. Like she's very fluent in construction, building walls, hanging doors, drywall, laying floors. Like she does it all.
Wow.
But I'm basically the go-to cheerleader. So, she tells me, remember when you were a kid and your dad said, hold the flashlight?
Yeah.
That's basically me. That's basically me for Missy now, when she builds anything. So we're currently in the process of building 3 more salon suites, adding plumbing and electrical and drywall, and then we're doing two more bathrooms in this 11,000 square foot gargantuan of a salon. So,
but you got nothing but space out there.
Yeah, right.
Got all kinds of space out there. So that's one project. Another project, I launched a company about 6 or 8 months ago called Door Skins. We're working with the patent and trademark office right now on the product, but it has really taken off. So, and I really like this company. I've probably started 10 or 12 companies and had a pretty high success rate. About 8 of them did really well. We're able to sell them at a profit, and some of them are still up and running.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never felt as excited for a company as this, because it's nice to be, an inventor or a founder of a new product. And since I've been doing this, I've met a lot of other inventors, and they always say, like, the best invention is one where somebody says, I can't believe somebody hasn't already thought about that. I can't believe that product doesn't exist. Like, everybody would want one of those. So it's a good time.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the concept for Door Skins?
What's the company focus on?
Yeah. So you guys remember COVID, right? Remember COVID?
It's becoming more and more faint.
Yeah. So, during COVID, a lot of people had to stay home, right? You couldn't go out, you couldn't do the things that you wanted. So a lot of those honeydew lists got done.
Yeah.
Right. We've always wanted to do this. We've always wanted to do that. I wanted to make a man cave out of my garage. I wanted to repaint everything, whatever it is, home improvement soared at that point in time.
100%.
So we saw a lot of garage renovations being made. And before that point in time, you never saw those epoxy floors, those acrylic epoxy floors. People are doing their garages. You look all over social media now, you see these $20,000 garage floors, and people, let's say you're into sports or automotive or whatever, people are turning their garages into works of art. They've got hexagon lights. They've got, these crazy floors. They've got custom made cabinetry, hundreds of thousands of dollars in tools and all this stuff, like my garage. I've done my epoxy floor twice now, and I've got, $500,000 in cars sitting in there on any given day. But the ugly thing when you looked in that garage, especially if you're coming from the house, is the back of the garage door, right? They're plain. It's a huge canvas. Most garage doors are 16, 20 feet long by 8 or 9 feet tall, and it's ugly.
Yeah.
The rest of your walls are black or gray and have art on them, and then you've got this gargantuan thing that you use more than any other surface. You open it, you close it, you open it, you close it, and it's just it was an eyesore. So my original thought was, well, I'll just wrap the back of the garage door, right? No problem. And that's what I did. I had some vinyl made. I printed on it the design that I wanted, and I put it across the back of the garage door, me and a buddy, and it looked like shit. And the reason it looked like shit is the back of your garage door. Most garage doors have the consistency of knockdown drywall. It's not flat.
Right.
It has peaks and valleys and high points and low points. And when you put a high definition over something like that, all you see is the imperfections in the surface, right?
Okay.
The glare, you lose, it almost looks worse. So then I set off on, well, how do I make that surface smooth, right? Well, okay, you can Bondo it, you can sand it, you spend hundreds of hours making this thing surface and then put a wrap on it. And that didn't translate to any sort of a business, right? That I'm not good at that. I couldn't do that. So I racked my brain for a couple months, couldn't figure anything out. And then one day I just happened to go to my refrigerator in my kitchen, and there was a sticker, what I thought was a sticker of my daughter from playing volleyball on the fridge. And I went and grabbed it, and it was magnetized. And I said, well, that was kind of my aha moment. I'm like, I wonder if I can scale that. Can I scale that? Can I make a high definition image on something that would have enough pull force to, because garage doors, half the time they're open.
Yeah.
It's a vertical drop. So then I was on the hunt for, let's find a magnet company where I can print on something. So I went down that rabbit hole, and it wasn't as easy as you would think, because you need a very unique substrate to print on, especially if you want to roll these things up and store them, right? Because my goal, even at that point in time, was, well, I could do them for the outside too. People could decorate their house for Christmas or Halloween or special events,
or you can piss off your neighbors.
Oh man, we have a door skin. We have a door skin in production that a good friend of mine, when he watches this, Courtney Kirkpatrick, kind of inspired. So he's a car guy, right? And he had a Karen that lived next to him. And he bought a yard sign that said "Beware Karen" and an arrow at her house. So we have a I won't say it until we launch it, but it's a Karen warning with an arrow, basically.
That's so funny.
So yeah, and we have some anti-HOA ones and things like that. But so that process took a little bit of time, because you're printing on a big magnet. Yeah. And if you run a magnet through a printer and it goes back and forth, what happens is it magnetizes the printer, and the printer doesn't work anymore.
Wow.
So the printer, just the printer and the plotting table, what we use to cut the magnet, total is about $550,000. And we use a very unique substrate that we print on, and a very, very unique ink. It's a UV ink that, as we print it, UV light comes over it and dries it. So that allows the image, you could roll it up as tight as you want. It doesn't bend or crack.
Wow.
It stores well. You can put it on, put it off. You can be outside. We can do an additional UV coating for like businesses. We do a lot of gyms and especially in towns where they have a lot of marketing signage issues. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to do a lot of stuff. Well, you can put that on your garage door just the same as you can paint your windows for Christmas, right? It's
Yeah.
pre-existing.
So
Yeah.
my question is on this, like on the, doors have 3 or 4 breaks,
Yep.
right? As they roll up. How do you deal with that separation when it rolls up and starts curving?
Yeah, so if we're printing the door or if we're printing the door skin for an interior garage door, there's going to be about a 1/4 inch gap
Okay.
from the bottom panel to the top. And that's so when the door articulates, you don't get any binding. My first one I made was for my house, right? Kind of the beta, and we didn't leave any and we had some binding issues. So we got up there, and as it would articulate, it would bubble, and then it would flatten back out. But it caused some issues. So we took about a 1/4 inch off, no problem. Now, if we're doing it on the outside, the image can be flush because the door doesn't bind that way because it's opening wider, right? So yeah, no
Okay.
problem. We've also incorporated a lot of garage doors have windows built into them.
Right.
We've got a window perforation treatment where we can continue the image seamlessly onto the window. You can see into it, but you can't see out of it. So it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
That's
Done
cool.
a bunch of those. Yeah, those are trick.
That's
Fun
cool.
to install too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Just ask your wife. Just ask your wife. She
for
can put
sure.
it together.
Yeah, because I don't have the finesse. I'm the guy who will hammer in a thumbtack, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I'd probably
That's
smash my finger
hilarious.
doing it, right?
This company's got to be a lot of fun, man.
It is
creative. You could play around with it. Like that's got to be a lot of fun.
The design that, bringing somebody's design to life is what's cool. Somebody says, hey, I want, this car with these plates on it, on a racetrack at sunset.
Yep.
And I get to go in and I get to make it and send them, 2 or 3 revisions. They pick it, we print it, we stick it, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And just like that, changes the inside.
Changes the inside like you wouldn't believe. Yeah. We've got a Instagram, a Facebook, a TikTok, a YouTube. Any of those, just Doorskins, DOORSKINZ, no spaces. We'll take you right to it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. It's funny because you were talking about the epoxy floors, and like 5 minutes before I came on here, I was on Instagram, and Cam Scatteraboo just got his garage floor done in Arizona in epoxy, but they didn't show anything in the back of the garage door.
Yeah.
Floor. And now that you say that, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, wow, that's actually really true.
Yeah.
Dan,
That's awesome.
Let me ask you. So you've built across multiple industries. You have the salon right now. I remember I asked you a question when you were on stage in Missouri about real estate. You were into real estate. What identity would you say you think an entrepreneur has to adopt before they ever succeed?
Well, I think as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? You're going to have to live with imposter syndrome for a very long time. Like we all do that. The first time I got on that stage, I'm like, what the am I doing up here? Right. Like, you guys remember that event? We had people from NASA there. We had authors, Russ, you're an author. We had doctors, Dan, you're a doc. And I'm up there I'm the guy with the Lamborghini, fake it until I make it sort of deal. So, I think everything in life can be distilled down to 2 things, right and wrong, right? So as an entrepreneur, you need to be fixing a problem, right? So look at what's wrong and find a way to make it right. I think that's the easiest way to articulate what separates a wantrepreneur to an entrepreneur, right? You're actually doing something that's going to have an impact that people want, and you're not just feeding the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yep. I got you. I think you did great on stage that day, just for just for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, that was probably one of my most fun
Yeah.
speaking engagements because I had my family there. I had my I think I had my oldest daughter there. I don't know if Remy was there, but Brooklyn was there, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't really get to come to events like that, and it just happened to be in town, so it was like, all right, well, let's go.
Yeah.
I just remember there was no filter on the microphone that day.
Yeah, yeah.
Zero filter.
I think I probably had took an IV of Red Bull or something because I was amped up, man. I had like 100 grand in cash on me and I put on the stage. It
I
was like,
remember.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
I remember. You
Yeah.
dumped it in a backpack.
Yeah, I remember Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is amazing.
Don't know if I would do that over again. Yeah.
That's funny, man. That was
Yeah.
funny.
That's good. So,
Yeah.
how many over your career of being an entrepreneur? How many businesses have you started? How many do you still have? How many have you sold? Like startups, all that kind of stuff. Fill us in.
Yeah. So, I think my first venture into entrepreneurship, I was probably in my mid-20s and I started a graphic design company, and that kind of parlayed into a clothing line. And then I ran that probably for a year or two. And, it wasn't super successful. I did baseball jerseys and softball teams and soccer teams and schools and funny shirts for different businesses. And then I ended up selling that with all the equipment. And if I broke even and paid my bills, that was probably what it was. But I think that's where I got the first the fix. Like, man,
Yeah.
this is nice. I don't want to work for somebody else. I want to work for myself. And from there, had a couple different sales jobs. And I'm not really a salesperson because I know I seem like an extrovert, but I'm an introvert. Like I walk into a room and I'm like, I don't like this. Unless I know everybody and I know what's going on, I know where the exits are. Like, because I'm the king of the Irish exit. Where to go? He's going. So yeah. But we'll start with kind of like the we'll work our way backwards. Okay, so Doorskins is the most recent. Previous to this, I had a home improvement surplus store that was how I was able to get that business really centered around a car I bought in 2014. So I bought a Lamborghini in 2014.
Yeah.
And it was the best recruitment tool ever. So at that point in time, I worked for a Fortune 500 company. I won't say the name, but it was in a sales organization, right, locally. And when other people in the town would see that car, people would come up and they say, "Hey, what do you do? How do I want to do what you're doing?" Right.
Right.
And man, I recruited the best talent in the area, and our company went from a $20 million location to a $50 million location in about 18 months. So having that car, and then I sent it to Underground Racing and Twin Turboed it, and then I started racing it around the country. And when you have a car like that, you meet other people who have cars like that.
Yeah,
And
sure.
that got me into a lot of rooms and conversations that otherwise I probably wouldn't have been privy to. One of the people I met at one of these events during COVID, what his company did is they would house, I don't know the correct term, but unusable product. So let's say you own Home Depot, you own Lowe's, you own Menards. Somebody comes in during COVID and they buy a chainsaw, and they get home and they already had that chainsaw, or the chainsaw doesn't work, or they didn't need it, and they take it back and they return it. Home Depot can't take that piece of equipment and put it back on the shelves because if you have COVID and they give somebody else COVID, right?
Mm,
They don't
yeah,
want the liability.
sure.
So they would take all of this stuff, all of this inventory, not only returns, but out of season stuff, right? As a season stuff, maybe people have touched it too much, we're getting rid of it. And I think there was some sort of program with the government where they were allowed to turn this in and probably get costs or retail back for it. So they were literally dumping off inventory
Mm.
to these warehouses, these wholesalers. So a buddy of mine called and he's like, "Hey, you need to start a resale company." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Man, I can get you a semi truck, 53-foot semi truck full of Lowe's or Home Depot or Best Buy or Target or Amazon goods. I can get it shipped to you for about $5,300."
Wow.
Wow.
So I was like, "Man, I don't know how to start a resale store, but I'll give it a shot." Right. So at
Why
that
not?
point in time, at that point in time, we didn't have our building. So Missy was renting retail space and there was 2 retail spaces open. So I was like, all right, well, I'll rent those 2, right? There was one big enough for storage and there was one that we could do a storefront. So I was like, all right, whatever, rent's cheap in Missouri. So I think I was given like $900 for both units, order the first truck. Thank God there was a place called True Value, and they rent heavy equipment, forklifts, telehandlers, things like that. So I rent a telehandler. It's basically a forklift with a boom on it. And we order the first truck. The truck gets delivered at like 8 o'clock at night. Bro, we had no idea what we were getting into. So 53 feet of semi truck holds about 20 to 24 pallets. The pallets are probably 4 or 5 feet tall and 53 feet long. So when you unload that and you put it into a space, it takes up a lot of space, man. Like we could barely close the freaking door on the storage. Like we had that thing like a Tetris. Everything was just stuffed in there. And then that's where the addiction came in, because the best part of that was going through everything.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
at that point in time, what we did is we had a Home Depot app, and the Home Depot app allows you to scan the item, tells you what it's for sale for, tells you how many are at this location, whatever that location, right? So what we did is we took an inventory, we scanned every single item, and it would tell us the retail. So you scan this lawnmower, it's $569. You scan this hose, it's $123. These LED lights, $8. So in that first truck of $5,300 cost delivered, plus the like $300 telehandler renter, we were like less than $6,000. There was $63,000 in retail.
Mm.
So all we did is we marked it 30% off,
Yeah.
40% off, 50% off, right? Now, not everything was in the box. I would say 80% of the stuff was in the box. 10% was lightly used and 10% was garbage, just
Mhm.
broken shit that, people returns or damaged in transit. And man, that was a huge thing for us, because in Branson, there's a lot of hotels and resorts, and they like to buy stuff cheap to keep their costs down. And we worked with a couple larger contractors and local people, and that business did great. Ended up selling it, and it's still up and running. So
That's awesome.
that was a cool one. Back from that, in 2018, I started a company that helped people get out of different types of contracts. In our first year, we did like $5.5 million, ended up selling that company. Now that business has sprung me into what I currently do full time now, is work for different companies and kind of terraform their sales side to a environment where top talent wants to live, right? So
Mhm.
teach them some systems and processes, some hiring, how to look for people. because that's the thing. Like, if I said the word apex predator, what comes to mind? What animal?
Lion.
Lion. Yeah.
Lion, right?
Yeah.
Apex predator. What about if you're in the water?
Alligator.
Yeah. Crocodile, alligator. Yep.
What if you're in the ocean?
Shark.
Right. So any of those, when I say apex predator, everybody thinks the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody can recognize that, right? Everybody knows if you're in the ocean and you see a fin, right, you're beat. If you see a lion, right, you're beat.
You just
Very
have to
few,
outrun your friend. That's all.
that I'm gonna trip you. I'm tripping you and I'm gone, right? Yeah. So it's easy recognizable. Most people can't tell an apex competitor from a normal person. They don't have that skill set yet, right? We only know what an apex predator is because our ancestors got eaten by lions and crocodiles, and
Mhm.
most people don't see an individual and can say that guy has what it takes.
Mhm.
I can take this person and apply this to them, and they can be a shark, right? They can be a
Yeah.
lion, whatever it is. So that's where my skill set lies, is finding those people and helping them unlock that, and do really well. So 2018, back from that, man, I had bars, I had nightclubs, I had restaurants. That's where I kind of got over my introvert lifestyle, right? That's where I had to be the face
Yeah.
of the business. I had to interact with people, and I think that's where you grow, is forcing yourself to get outside of that comfort zone and developing skills that normally you wouldn't have. And it's thank God I did that, because that was a major inflection point for me, right? I changed the trajectory of my life by doing things that were uncomfortable, not only uncomfortable, but I had no desire to do. I didn't know it was going to, transform me into the person I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all know that, there's a lot of hardships. There's a lot of challenges, in starting up companies. There's the details in the work and everything like that. So you got to have a proper mindset, knowing that this thing could succeed or it may not. And how do you go in and how do you prepare yourself from a mindset standpoint when you go into door skins, having, done very well, broke even on some businesses and stuff like that. How has your mindset changed and how do you prepare yourself for that?
Right.
Great question. So in my closet, I have a blackboard, just like a whiteboard, but it's black, and I use different color markers on it. And I track my business, and I usually put a slogan for the year. Last year, my slogan was, if it costs you your peace, it's not worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
So I use that daily to cut out people in my life, or processes in my life, or things in my life that stole away my peace, right? If it
Mm-hmm.
took away my peace, it's not worth my time, right?
Sure.
This year on my board, it says do the hard thing first.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think it was Benjamin Franklin. I might get corrected in the comments, but
Dan will tell you.
yeah. I believe it was. I think it was Benjamin Franklin. He said, "If it's your job to eat a frog a day, do it in the morning. If it's your job to eat 2 frogs, eat the big one first."
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the mindset that I apply to business is do the hard thing first, right? Do the groundwork, right? Build the foundation before you jump into the deep end, right? So door skins, I have spent $0 in marketing so far. I have spent so much time making sure that the product is right, that the process is right, that the intake sheets are right, that the measurements are right, that the staffing is right, that there's no errors front to back. Because once you apply marketing, especially on a product like this, we're going to have hundreds of orders being filled. And If you don't have the systems in place, the processes in place, then the business is going to fail. Like how many businesses have had a great idea, they've launched, and because they launched too early, they failed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's a fulcrum point there between launching too early and then failure to launch, right? How much of life is wasted waiting, right? If you wait for the perfect moment, it will never come. So there's a sweet spot in there where you're uncomfortable to do it, but it's the right time. And I think the more you operate within that space, the more companies you launch and they fail or they succeed, that margin gets bigger. Maybe it doesn't get bigger, but your ability to see it gets better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Dan, you hear a lot of these entrepreneurs on Instagram and everybody talking that you have to fail first in order to succeed. It's necessary that you fail first. Do you think that's true? And do you think that can be avoided with the right strategy? And I think your answer is going to be yes, you can avoid it with the right strategy. But you always hear people say you have to fail first. What do you think about that?
You know, Andy Frisella says it best. He says that there's no win or lose, it's win or learn. So these failures, they're not failures, they're stepping stones. They're stepping stones to perfecting the process, right? There's a quote that says the difference between successful people and failures is the successful people failed, but they didn't stop, right? They did it that one more time and they became successful. So nobody remembers the 37 failures that they have, right? Because victories are celebrated in light, victories are won in darkness, right? So all those failures nobody sees now because all they see is, oh my God, you know, you're Russ Rogers, the author, you're the man. Nobody sees the 120 years, because you're 130, right? The 120 years, you
like Moses.
Like Moses.
Right? Yeah.
I look pretty good, don't I?
That's it. You know, I didn't know Rip Van Winkle could legally change his name to Russ Rogers, but you look great.
Oh my gosh, I love it, man. Yeah. Yeah. So what besides door skins, what piques your interest outside of business?
Family, being a father is the best thing you can ever have bestowed upon you, like the honor of bringing kids into this world and being a mentor, and like the way that kids look at you is the way you wish everybody would look at you, right? Like you're a hero probably until they're 12 or 13 or so.
Maybe.
Right? Yeah, squeeze as much out of that as you can. Also, I like seeing other people succeed. I like being able to mentor people, teach them the ropes, and see them go on from making, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year to making $300,000, $400,000. Some people make $1 million. So that's an amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing to be able to change people's lives by just unlocking what they already have.
Yeah. That's so cool.
That makes sense.
It's so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But and then outside of people's lives, you've got the hot rods, right?
Oh man, I'm in recovery. I'm a recovering car addict,
You go to AA car meetings?
Man, I go to Cars Anonymous, AA, Automobiles Anonymous. That would be better. Yeah. So, I've got 2 project cars right now. One of them's about finished. I just sold my twin turbo Lamborghini, and I'm on the hunt for another one, but that one will probably be another year or so off. But yeah, I love going fast. There's a lot of people faster than me that'll say, well, you're not very fast, That's the circle of the circle of friends I have are unfortunately much faster than me because I have a car addiction and these guys have like jet and plane addictions. It's like, so I'm still a peon in the pond I'm swimming in, but
Yeah.
I'm in it, so I'm
That's
thankful for that. Yeah.
What's your top speed in one of your cars?
Fastest I've had the Lambo was like 222. But that was a little past the half mile. The fastest I've had it in the half mile, which is the event that I raced in, was 207.
207.
Yeah, 207 and like, 2,600 feet and like a little over 11 seconds. That's moving.
That's moving, man. Things are flying
that's,
by quickly.
that's getting done.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the really fast guys, a buddy of mine, Mark Rao, he's the fastest in the world right now. And you think 207 is fast, his car 260. 260 miles an hour. Now I think his car makes probably 3,500 horsepower plus.
Wow.
Mine made less than half of that.
Wow.
Man,
But-
what kind of car does he drive?
Is it Lambo or?
He's got a few. He's got a couple Lamborghini Huracan STOs
Yeah,
and a couple R8s, but the STO I think is what he holds the record in.
Lambo. Yeah,
My
Yeah.
gosh.
It's $1 million plus build,
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, he's got a pretty cool business. He owns AZ Cycle Parts. So they buy wrecked exotic cars, motorcycles, regular cars, take them all the way apart and then resell everything on eBay.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I went to his warehouse, I don't know, probably about a year ago or so, maybe less. And it's all indoor. Like you would think that, a place that has all wrecked cars, it would be outside,
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
It's all inside, 50-foot ceilings. Everything is on these huge racks. And like, it was as clean as a surgical room. Like you could eat off the floors. There was
Oh
no
my
oil
goodness.
on the floor. There was no dust. I was like, man, this place is crazy. Yeah. Place is cleaner than my house.
Hey, speaking of your house, lean one way or the other and show us what's behind you.
How cool
Right
is
on the shelf. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, we got that.
Tell us about those.
Okay, so the
That's awesome.
the painting here is from my favorite artist in the world. His name is Brian Garcia. He goes by BG Paints.
BG Paints?
BG Paints. I've got probably 7 or 8 of his originals. This here is from an artist called Jack of the Dust. He's out of Australia, so he makes really cool sculptures. This is from
Word.
That's awesome.
I believe this is from The Mandalorian when they kill a bunch of stormtroopers, but it comes with like a certificate of authenticity and all that.
Wow.
This is
Wolverine.
kind of a Wolverine Deadpool mix. I have a really good buddy who is a world-renowned painter. His name is Nathan Curry, and him and his father own Curry's Hot Rods, Hot Bikes. But my father-in-law 3D printed this, and then I took it to
Oh,
him,
my word.
and he airbrushed it for me.
That is so cool.
This is Darth Vader. This is also a 3D printed. My father-in-law made it for me.
That's awesome.
But
That's
yeah,
3D
super
printing
cool.
is insane.
Yeah, that's so
Yep.
crazy. I love the lightsaber in the picture, man. That's so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And then the other thing is just a stormtrooper helmet that my daughter likes to run around in and terrorize the neighborhood.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, man, thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
first one is unbelievable. I'm
Yeah.
glad
Yeah,
you brought it up to the camera, man. The detail is
Yeah,
incredible.
So
yeah, and
cool.
it comes with
We got more.
We got more.
well, it comes with a little
Ah,
death
Oh,
certificate.
death certificate.
Yeah,
That's
but yeah, he does really, really cool work, and they're
Oh.
like limited production sort deals, and Yeah, he's phenomenal to work with.
And do you tickle the ivory as well behind you?
I can play Happy Birthday and Frere Jacques and like a Dr. Dre song, but that's about it. Missy, on the other hand, can
Okay.
she can play. She can hear something and play it.
Wow.
That's an amazing ear. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have that talent. I'm not musically inclined at all. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh man.
It's probably one of the talents that like if you could do anything, like I wish I could carry a tune. I wish I could, I'd start a boy band with you two right now. Like we'd murder it, man. Right?
Totally agree.
We could be like, we're like the three guys who peaked in high school, right? We could
That's a good name for us. Yeah. That's a good name for us.
Hey, you'll appreciate this. We had a band, and it was a fake band. It was like air band back in high school called Flash Flood and the Cadillac Cats.
Oh, that's cool. That's a great name.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, not quite.
We get a door skin with that name on it.
Yeah, that's right. Man. Oh yeah.
What air instrument did you play?
Piano.
Piano. Okay. Nice. So you just
keyboards.
Looked like Ray Charles.
Ray Charles, yeah. Let the hair go.
You just got to change the tint on your glasses. You'd have it nailed.
That's it.
Right.
Well, my hair in high school looked like Skoka's. It was really, it was like that. Most of my life, it was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
My hairline was a little lower than his.
Yeah. That's gone back a little bit in the years.
Hey, you know the news? Do you know the news about him from last week or 2 weeks ago?
No.
Have you talked to him? Skoka?
No.
Got engaged.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, man.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
My filter is really kicking in right now. Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
I'm super happy for you. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's killer, dude. When's the wedding? What's the plan? What are we doing?
So the plan is actually to try to get married at the tail end of this year. So pretty soon. Not gonna push it too much farther, honestly. So tail end of this year, hopefully. We're kind of putting everything together now and trying to get a plan together, but it's I don't want to say a rush, but it's a bit urgent because it's close. So we're trying to plan everything now kind of quick.
All right, let's switch seats here for a second. So where'd you guys meet?
Oh wow. He's in the driver's seat now.
Yeah.
We actually met from a family friend. So a family friend kind of through a few acquaintances put us together. So it was a buddy of mine's, we'll say buddy of mine's wife's aunt is friends with her mother. So
holy cow.
I'm going to translate for the audience what that means. We met on Tinder.
No Tinder involvement. Hinge.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was too long of a story. That was too long of a story.
Yeah, he was looking up and to the right, so he was
I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, I was it was a burning building. I rushed in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I went with.
Dude, that's awesome.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Got to come down and race in the Lambo.
Oh man, yeah. Come on down. We got plenty of room.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Dan, what would you say? What are some daily mental habits you have or daily habits in general that help keep you sharp? Whether it be physical, mental, meditation, gym. Talk to us about that for a second.
So isolation brings elevation, right? If you want to get better at something, you kind of need to have some alone time. You really need to focus on, write it down, what it is that you want. That I try to keep that on, like, in, we'll say, my mental bucket. on my physical bucket, in my house, I have a cold plunge. I have a cold plunge, and right next to my cold plunge, I have a steam sauna. So, like, if you're ever feeling down or drained or not in a good mood, the cold plunge is the last thing you want to do because it's not going to be fun. But you get in that sucker, I get in for about 3 minutes. I keep my water about 45 degrees. When you get out of that thing, you are in the best mood ever because it dumps endorphins and serotonin for about 3 hours. So your energy levels spike. You're in a much better mood. You have a lot more clarity. And then the steam sauna, I think you would know more about this, but there was a medical report released a couple years back that said if you take a sauna for 20 minutes once a week, it reduces your risk of cardiovascular
disease,
death by like 20%. If you do it 2 times, 40%. If you do it 3 times a day, 3 times a week for 20 minutes, it's like reduces it by 80%.
80%, yeah, 80% with the staff.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you like? Yeah, do it. Like that's a non-negotiable, right?
100%.
I mean, chances are I'm not going to die of a heart attack. I'm going to die in a car, probably, right? But so good thing for the freaking sauna and the cold plunge, idiot. Yeah, yeah. But
I just risk somewhere.
yeah, we got to mitigate some sort of risk. Yeah. So obviously the gym is a big thing. We were talking about businesses. I didn't bring this up, but I'm partners in an MMA gym here in Branson. It's called Doghouse MMA. My business partner is Marco. He's an Afro Samurai. He's an amazing fighter. He runs it. He lives there. He lives, eats, sleeps it. So he's DeMarco Hutchinson is his name, and he is probably the coolest person I've ever met. Like, this guy is so selfless and has been through so much trauma in his life. Like, I have a speaking engagement in Chicago, and he happens to be from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking him and I'm going to put him on stage, and I'm going to force him to kind of share his story, because this guy has come home to his roommate was his best friend and committed suicide, and he was the first one there. And he's had multiple deaths of people, violent deaths in his life, and it's just like this guy would help anybody if he had the means, even if he didn't. Like, this guy is just a salt of the earth type of person. So I'm really excited for that event, because I don't think he's ever like shared his story publicly, and I think that would help a lot of people. So yeah, and good things happen when you help people. Like, that energy just comes back, right? It just comes back more. It's amplified.
Absolutely.
Right. It gets like a kinetic charge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you're dealing with business people and all this kind of stuff, for all those that are listening today who, are stressed out, maxed out, what can you challenge them with today? You talk about cold plunge, you talk about the sauna, but what, for those people that aren't balanced in that with work life and, exercise, what would you challenge them with today?
Well, I think you need to know that you're going to need to relocate. You're now going to live on the corner of hurry up and wait.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that's what an entrepreneur is. You're grinding, and then you're waiting, right? You're planting these seeds, you're watering them, and then you're waiting for it to sprout. Right? And a lot of people want to force that process. I do a meeting with a lot of high level salespeople, and I'll go around the room and I'll say, what are the ingredients to making a cake? You guys go ahead and say some things.
Flour,
egg,
milk if you need it,
milk,
sugar,
right? Whatever filling you're going to do.
Icing.
All right. So if I take all those ingredients and I mix them all up, I blend them up, I do all this real good, there's my cake. Right?
Yeah.
Is that a cake?
No,
Gotta
not yet.
Gotta bake.
You got
Not
to
yet.
bake it. You got to
Right.
bake it for what? 350 for
50 for 20 minutes.
350 for 20 minutes. Okay. So let me ask you this. I've done all this work. I've made this. Can I bake it for 700 degrees for 10 minutes?
No.
Twice the heat, half the time?
No.
No.
See, that's what most people think an entrepreneur is. They want to cut the time down.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, if you make that cake, it's going to look like a char grilled steak on the outside and it's going to be pudding on the inside, right? That cake ain't going to bake,
Yeah.
right? Because it takes a specific amount of heat. Now, what is heat in being an entrepreneur? It's like the cake doesn't like it in the oven. It's hot, right?
Yeah.
It's a difficult time because it's going through a transitionary phase. It's going from liquid to somewhat of a solid, right?
Mhm.
So same thing, like as you're going through that difficult time as an entrepreneur, know that that's solidifying you. It's taking you from that gelatinous material of I want to do something, but it takes a specific amount of time to do so. So what I would tell people is give yourself a long fuse. Don't think that you're going to get it done in 30, 60, or 90 days. Times that by 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Give yourself enough time. Build up a war chest before you go into this. Or hire people who have already done it.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's like I built a website for door skins. It sucked. And I'm a buddy of mine who I used to be business partners with in a bar. His name is Ben Eubanger. He introduced me to the guy who did his website. His name's Dan Soka, and this guy is a ninja. Like this guy is Spotify. Like he's taken my website and he's done things to it that I never would have thought. And he's done such an amazing job. But like you can't do it all. You're not an expert. It's worth hiring experts at certain things. If you go to court for something, you should probably hire an attorney, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're sick, you might not want to just ask ChatGPT what I need to do. You might want to go see a doctor.
True.
Right? So, I guess, does that kind of give you a good answer? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. That's great. Awesome. Dan, where can people find you? Where can people find Door Skins?
Yeah, so the social medias is just Door Skins, just like it says on the hat. Door Skins. I also have a personal, it's just Dan Chudy, DANCHUDY, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. My wife's salon is High Volume Salon. She's got a website. So if you want to come in and get your nails done real pretty for your wedding, happy to do that for you. Be on the house, buddy.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You know what? I'll throw in the toes too. I'll do the toes. I'll do and I'll do it personally.
I want you to do it.
I get to pick the colors though. Yeah.
Fair deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Dan, last question.
Okay.
Wellness is not about perfection. It's about progress. What does that statement mean to you?
Well, I agree with it wholeheartedly. I think when you're talking about wellness, people need to commit or quit, right? Either commit to it or quit talking about it, right? Because it's important, right? Your wellness, whether you're talking about your mental wellness and clarity, your physical wellness, like guys, we only have one body, we only have one mind, right? So like your wellness should be a focal point in your daily routines.
Mm-hmm.
You should jot something down and have a wellness exercise, a mediation corner, an exercise room, something you can do to center yourself and propel yourself throughout the day.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
my 2 cents.
That's good. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
Man, it's been amazing to have you here on Dual Coast today. We've been looking forward to it. Dan and I have been talking about it.
Yeah.
So, we were enlightened today. We were challenged today. And thank you for challenging the people that are here, that are listening, and for those that are going to listen in the future. A lot of great insight. Love your energy. Love who you are as a person. That's the most important part, So thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
What was the over under on me saying the F word?
25.
'Cause I made it, guys.
Oh, you made it.
Fucking made it. Oh,
Way under.
damn it.
You just blew it.
Damn it.
Oh, that's
Well, thanks
awesome.
for having me. It was an honor, and love both you guys. Look up to you. Can't wait to collaborate on something in the future with you. And
100%.
yeah, keep killing it.
Sounds good, man.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for being with us. Guys, we'll see everybody next week. Please check us out on all social media handles at Dual Coast Podcast. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. We'll see you guys next week. Dan Chudy, thank you so much again.
Yep.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep. See you guys.
All right.